No trees were killed or harmed in the making of this video. But for all you woodworkers out there, don't worry, we'll be back to cutting up dead tree carcasses to make cool stuff next week, so be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified. So I just tack welded these guys on there. I want to be real careful as I weld this not to add too much heat to warp it out of plane, because this is what's going to support the glass, so it needs to be reasonably flat. So I'm just going to take my time, I'm going to weld, let it cool down, do the opposite side, let it cool down, and then work my way that way. Alright, so I'm just going to do a little layout to cut out the cross braces. Alright, so I got the basic box welded up, and now I'm going to build a trough that this is going to sit in and hold this securely, so help prevent some of that tipping to help hold it a little bit tighter and hold it in plane with this, and then build a cap to cap the top so you don't look down inside the box there. So it's just a nice rusty cap that'll be on top. So I have the box all welded up, and what I'm spraying on here is muriatic acid, and that is just to eat off all that mill scale. I found it a lot easier just to use acid to eat the mill scale off than try to grind and buff it all off. And it leaves a smoother finish as well. And since I'm spraying muriatic acid, I'm using a respirator that's designed to filter out acid vapors. This is a step up from your typical organic vapor respirator that you just use for spraying lacquer. You want something a little bit stronger that's going to capture those acid vapors as well. All right, now that I got the box cleaned off, I am going to go through a series of steps of treating it with various types of chemicals. The main chemical I'm going to use is vinegar and apple cider vinegar. The two different types of vinegars create different shades of rusty colors. So an apple cider vinegar actually creates a darker red in the rust patterns. And as I apply these, I'm going to use different spray pattern techniques, and the different spray patterns are going to also create different patterns of rust in the final colors. So I'm starting out with just a real fine mist, and then I'm switching to a different chemical and doing more of a direct spray shot pattern to create more defined areas. So each time I'm going to change it up a little bit, so that way when I'm done it'll have like this modeling of different colors and different patterns throughout the piece. And then I'm going to use this dead tree carcass to cover it up, and I'm going to weight it down to press into the metal. This will help create additional patterns as well as trap some of that moisture in there so it doesn't dry too quickly, giving the rust a chance to bite into the metal. So this is a natural process of rusting the metal. So there's no guarantee of what kind of colors you're going to get, what kind of patterns you can get. It's just a matter of kind of guiding it into the direction you want to go. I have a little bit of a vision of what I want it to look like in the end, and I'm just trying to help it along in that vision. And of course, here I am not being 100% satisfied, so I'm just fussing around here trying to get it closer to the vision that I have in my head of what I want it to look like. Alright, so you can see what I kind of ended up with for side A. So now I'm working my way around the box, and the trick is not to screw up what you just did. I have had instances where it has get too puddled up on top and run down the side that I had just completed, making these weird streaks in there, ruining my hard work. So this is the tense part where I'm just trying not to screw it up and still get cool patterns around the rest of the box. Alright, to seal it all in and preserve my rusty artwork, I am spraying a conversion varnish. Alright, one of the last things to do is to weight the base. It's pretty stable, but it still can tip pretty easy. So once I get the big piece of glass on there with the metal crossbar, if someone pushes down hard on this side, it could potentially tip it or whatever. So I stuffed a dust collector bag in here to prevent any concrete from getting on the surface and screwing up my patina work. And then I'm just going to pour concrete in there and fill it up. Also, this bag hopefully will stay intact enough to prevent the concrete from touching the inside of the box, which could possibly rust it from the inside out. Even though this is an inside piece, I'm pretty sure that's pretty unlikely. But I just want to make sure, a little reinsurance that my my creation will last at least my lifetime, if not into the next. Alright, to help facilitate mixing, I always put about half the water I'm going to use in first. That way I don't have any dry spots, dry clumps stuck to the bottom. It's just easier to get it mixed thoroughly. And then I'll do the other half once I get it started mixing, so I can determine how firm or loose of a mix I want. Alright, periodically giving it a little shake to spread the concrete out in there. leave this open so that can dry, and then I'll tuck the plastic down inside there. All right, so just need to unwrap it, take it out to the client's house, and set the glass top on top of it.